Okay guys. So another accounting video again, another day. Another sakit ng ulo na naman po tayo today. So ngayon, let's talk about receivable financing or the transfer of receivables. So actually, this is the third topic with regards to receivables and the last topic for our recorded video discussion. So dito, sabi doon lang muna, ito muna tayo mag-focus sa transfer of receivables. Ano daw ba si transfer of receivables? Sabi daw, the transfer of receivables can either be through sale or through secured borrowing. Pwede daw na yung receivable daw natin is ibenta mo sa ibang tao or pwede daw na yung receivable natin is gamitin mo as your collateral. Uutang ka, gagamitin mo siya as your collateral. So paano mo daw malalaman kung there is a sale of receivable? Sabi daw, number one, if such transfer daw or that the transferred receivable has been isolated from the transferor. Sino si transferor? Yung may-ari ng receivable. Yung may-ari daw ng receivable, yung nagbenta daw sa kanya, hindi na raw niya, wala na daw siyang control doon sa receivable niya na yun. Then that is considered as a sale. And the transferee daw has obtained the right to pledge or exchange either the transferred asset or the beneficial interest in the transferred asset, and the transferor does not maintain effective control over the transferred asset through an agreement to repurchase or either to redeem before the maturity. Ang sinabi lang sa number 1, yung transferred receivable daw, hindi na daw, wala na daw control si transferor. Binigay na raw niya, nag-transfer na raw niya yung ownership kay transferor. Dito sa number 2 naman daw, si transferee naman, yung pinag-transferan daw ng receivables ni transferor. Sabi daw, meron na daw siyang right, it's either i-pledge ulit yung receivable na yon, i-exchange niya yung receivable na yon, kahit na yung interest daw doon sa receivable na yon, meron na daw siyang right kahit ano man daw yung gusto niyang gawin doon. And number 3, sabi daw, si transferor daw, hindi daw niya or wala na raw siyang effective control or hindi din niya wala ding naiwan na right sa kanya to repurchase or to redeem such receivable before maturity. Then that transfer of receivable is considered as a sale transaction. Ang difference naman pag secured borrowing, sabi daw, if one of these three is not met, then that transfer of receivable is considered as a secured borrowing. Ngayon dito, okay, tandaan mo na lang na kapag meron daw tayong sale, syempre pag nagbenta ka, it's either meron kang gains and meron tayong loss. So sabi daw, the difference between the consideration received, yung na-receive mo daw nung binenta mo daw yung receivable versus the carrying amount of the receivable is recognized as either gain or the loss. Pag mas mataas yung na-receive mo kaysa dun sa binitawan mong receivable, then meron kang gain. Pag mas mataas yung binitawan mong receivable kaysa dun sa na-receive mo, then meron tayong loss. Okay? Ngayon naman dito sa secured borrowing, the transferred receivable is not de-recognized. Dito kasi sa sale, aalisin mo yung receivable. So you must credit receivable and debit tayo ng cash kung cash man yung na-receive natin. Debit cash, credit receivable. Alisin mo yung receivable kasi hindi mo na receivable yon. Receivable na yon nung pinagbentahan mo ng receivable natin. Ngayon dito sa secured borrowing, sa'yo pa rin daw yung receivable. So hindi mo daw i-de-recognize yung receivable natin na yan. Hindi mo daw aalisin yung receivable mo na yan. Now then, the consideration received is recognized daw as a liability. Syempre meron at meron kang nare-receive na cash dyan. Ngayon dahil may na-receive kang cash, hindi ka daw nagde-recognize ng receivable. But rather, sabi daw, meron ka na lang daw munang liabilities. Okay, that is for the secured borrowing. Ngayon, anong ibig sabihin ng receivable financing? Sabi daw, receivable financing is an act of inducing cash inflows from receivables other than from their normal or scheduled payments. Diba si receivables, inaantay mo makolekta yan sa mga customers natin. May receivable ka kay customer, para maging cash yung receivable na yon, dapat magbayad sa'yo si customer. Merong instances na kailangan mo na ng pera. Hindi mo na maantay na magbayad si customer. Merong agreement doon. Let's say for example, 60 days bago yung due date ng receivable natin. O within 30 days, hindi pwedeng pilitin mo si customer na magbayad sa'yo within 30 days. What if kailangan mo na ng pera within 30 days? So sabi daw, meron ka daw alternative way, which is yung receivable financing. Sabi daw, kailangan mo ng inflow, then ang gagawin mo daw, instead daw na antayin mo na makolekta yung receivable, naghahanap ka daw ng other way to collect another inflows pero for that same property or for that same asset which is the receivables. Ngayon yung mga acts natin na to, pwede daw siya into 4 forms. Pwede daw na yung receivable mo is ginagamit mo siya as your pledge. And tinatawag din siya as your hypothecation. Okay, dito sa pledge, tandaan mo na lang na wala ka ding i-recognize. Wala kang aalisin dyan. Kasi pledge daw is considered as a secured borrowing. Okay, same as well sa assignment. Secured borrowing din yan. Ano bang ibig sabihin ulit pag secured borrowing? Hindi ka dyan nagdi-recognize ng receivable. So, hindi ka dyan nagbebenta. Yung receivable, sa'yo pa rin yun. Pero ginamit mo siya as a collateral. Sa pledge lang dito, tandaan mo na lang na sa pledge, wala kang gagawin na kahit anong journal entry. But rather, kailangan mong mag-disclose sa notes to financial statement natin na such receivable has been pledged. Okay, sa assignment naman is considered as a formal form of pledge. Pledge pa rin. Pero dito, in a formal way na. Dito, mag-i-entry ka. Pero yung entry natin, hindi ka magdi-recognize, but rather, you will only reclassify the receivable into unassigned receivable. Kasi yung receivable natin, pwedeng unassigned yan. So, the moment na mag-assign ka ng receivable, ang entry lang natin dyan is simply debit ka lang ng receivable, that is, lagyan mo lang dito, assigned, and credit tayo ng receivable which is unassigned. Okay? Hindi ka nagde-recognize ng receivable. Wala kang inalis na receivable. Ang ginawa mo lang, ni-reclassify mo lang para lang ma-identify that such receivable has been assigned. That receivable has been pledged in a formal way. Assignment, reclassification only. Yun yung sinasabi dito. Now, regardless naman kung assigned or unassigned ang receivable, iisang line item lang naman yan na pine-present. Okay, doon sa trade and other receivables natin. Ano bang ibig sabihin na ito? The breakdown can only be seen sa notes to financial statements natin. But take note, ito na lang, take note. Sa notes to financial statement natin, kailangan mo daw i-identify or sabihin doon kung magkano daw yung equity doon sa assigned receivable natin. Okay, kailangan mo daw i-disclose sa notes yung equity. Ano ba yung equity? Yung natitira doon sa portion ng receivables natin na sayo pa. Okay, meron kasi yon. So simply, that is, ito lang tayo. Accounting equation lang, asset minus liability is equal to your equity. Di ba sa secured borrowing, nagre-recognize ka ng liability. Yun yung utang mo dun sa na-receive mo na cash. Okay, yun yung liability mo dito. Ano yung asset mo? Yung receivable. Ano yung equity? Yung natitira. O, let's say for example, yung receivable, yung value ng receivable natin is nasa 100 pesos. Kailangan mo daw ng 50 pesos na cash. So, sabi mo, uutang ako ng 50 pesos sa'yo, C. Okay, kapalit nito, huwag kang mag-alala, bababayaran kita. Gagamitin ko as collateral sa'yo itong receivable ko na 100 pesos. Magkano ang inutang mo? 50 pesos. O magkano yung equity natin or natitira doon sa receivable mo? That is 50 pesos. Anong ibig sabihin nun? Doon sa 100 pesos na receivable na inassign mo dito kay C natin na ito, 50 pesos nun sa'yo pa. Yung 50 pesos sa kanya na. Okay, pero hindi mo pa tin-transfer. Nag-reclass ka lang. Sana malinaw. That's for the assignment. Okay tayo. Ngayon sa assignment natin, it can either be in a form of notification and non-notification basis. Anong difference? Dito daw sa assignment natin, pwede daw na yung may-ari ng receivable, i-assign mo daw or i-inform mo daw siya na yung receivable mo sa kanya is i-pledge mo or inassign mo dito sa tao na ito. Non-notification naman, wala kang in-inform. Okay, simple lang yun, ganun lang. Wala ka lang in-inform. Notification may in-inform ka, non-notification wala kang in-inform. So, i-illustrate natin. Let's say for example, si A, si B, and si C. Si B, si A na lang, si A, siya yung customer. Si A bumili kay B. So, si A hindi pa nagbayad. So, ngayon si B, merong receivable kay A, si customer. Si B ngayon, sabi, kailangan ko ng pera. So, uutang ako. Umutang siya kanino? Kay C daw, si lender. Si B ngayon tinatawag as assignor kasi siya yung nag-assign nung receivable na nanggaling kay A. Si C naman siya yung assignee. Siya yung pinag-assignan nung receivable ni A. Yung receivable ni B. So ngayon, ang nangyayari dyan, pag non-notification basis, the moment na magbabayad na si A nung receivable niya, babayad niya yon kay B. Si B ngayon, i-remit niya yung na-receive niya na yun kay C. Okay tayo. Pag notification basis naman, na-inform na si A. The moment na ma-inform si A, ang ginagawa niyan, si A daw directly nagbabayad na kay C. Okay, sana malinaw. Yun lang yung difference ng notification and non-notification basis. Okay? Next, tapos tayo sa secured borrowing, dalawa lang. Pwedeng pledge, pwedeng assignment. Ngayon, yung dalawang form pa natin, pwede daw factoring and pwedeng discounting. Which is they are an example of a sale. Okay, transfer of receivables na nagbebenta ka na raw. Ano ba yung factoring? Yung factoring binebenta mo sa isang financial institution na tinatawag natin na factor. Okay, yun lang. Binibenta mo siya. Yes, binibenta mo. Kanino daw? Financial institution. Ang tawag daw sa financial institution na yun, sa accounting natin, is the factor. Ngayon, yung pagbenta natin, it can either be in a form of with recourse and without recourse. Anong difference? Pag with recourse tayo, there is a guaranteed amount. Anong ibig sabihin nun? Ibig sabihin nun, tama yung receivable natin, possible yung ilang portion yan, hindi mo nakokolekta. Kaya nga nag-estimate tayo dyan ng bad debts expense. Tama? Right? O, so merong instances na ganun, hindi mo makokolekta yung portion amount. So sabi naman ni factoring, hindi naman natin sure kung magbabayad sa'yo talaga yung customer mo na yan. O, so dahil medyo conservative kami sa risk na yun, sabi daw, i-guarantee mo sa akin itong amount na ito. Yung guaranteed amount na yun, pag merong guaranteed amount, ang tawag doon, with recourse. Okay, ngayon yung guaranteed amount na yun, sinacharge siya sa account na tinatawag natin na recourse obligation. Recourse obligation is a liability account. Okay, liability yan. Yan yung portion ng receivable na ginagaranti mo na dapat bayaran mo ito sa akin in case na hindi magbayad si customer sa'yo. Yun yung tinatawag na with recourse obligation. Kapag without recourse naman, it is example of an outright sale. Okay, ibig sabihin ng outright sale, binenta ko yung receivable ko na to without recourse yan. Wala na kaming pakailan kung hindi siya magbayad or hindi. Yung risk daw na kay factor na. Sa with recourse kasi yung risk na kay borrower. Okay, nandoon kay B yung nagbigay or yung nag-factor ng receivable. Pero dito sa without recourse, yung risk natin na kay factor na. So kung hindi man magbayad si customer or yung receivable or yung may-ari or yung nagbigay ng receivable, yung nag-issue ng receivable, kung hindi man siya magbayad or magbayad man siya, ang lahat ng may risk doon sasaluhin na ni factor. So wala ngayong guaranteed amount. Walang guaranteed amount, walang nire-recognize na recourse obligation. So dalawa lang yon. Factoring, it can either be with recourse and it can either be without recourse. Ngayon sa factoring natin, tandaan mo na lang na meron tayong mga terms na ito. O apat lang naman. Factors holdback. Meron tayong tinatawag na factors holdback which is a receivable from factor. Okay, pwede mo siyang entryhan sa pag ini-entryhan mo yan, debit yan, it's either yung account na ginagamit is a factors holdback account which is a receivable account or a receivable from factor. Anong ibig sabihin ng factors holdback? Doon sa portion daw ng receivable, meron daw certain percentage na sabi, i-withhold muna namin. Sabi ni factor, for example na lang, dito illustrate natin dito, 100,000 yung receivable. Babayaran ko sa iyo yung receivable na yan, sabi ni factor. Okay, sabi ni B, si B, which is a factor. Sabi, babayaran ko na lang kay A o babayaran ko na lang sa iyo yung 100,000 pesos na yan o binayaran daw. Sabi daw, bibilhin ko, parang ganon. Bibilhin ko yung 100,000 na yan. Bibilhin ko yan ng 100,000. Then, pero sabi daw, yung 5%, i-withhold muna namin for the purposes of factors holdback. Anong ibig sabihin nun? Sabi lang nung factors holdback o yung 5% natin na to, in case naman daw na magkaroon ng sales returns and allowances. Kasi nagbenta ka, di ba? Nagbenta ka kay customer. So possible merong mga defect doon sa binenta mo. So possible may mga nasira. Anong gagawin ni A? Ibabalik niya. Ibabalik niya yung goods, ikaw ngayon, ibabalik mo yung receivable sa kanya. Diba? Merong ganong instances. Sales returns, sales allowances. Sabi daw, in case na magkaroon ng ganong instances, meron kaming pangahawakan. Ano yung pangahawakan daw? Yung receivable from factor. I-withhold daw niya yung 5% muna ni factor. Ibibigay na lang namin sa'yo yung 5% na yan once makolekta namin ng buo yung 100,000. Pero pag hindi namin nakolekta ng buo yung 100,000, hindi kami matatakot kasi meron pa kaming hinanghahawakan. Yung 5% na winidhold namin sa'yo. Okay, yun lang ang concept ng factors holdback. Receivable yan kay factor. Kasi marireceive mo yan dapat at the end na makolekta lahat yung 100,000. Pag hindi nakolekta yun, ibabawas lang ng konti. Okay, next, meron tayong tinatawag na service fee. Okay, yung service fee naman, syempre, hindi naman pwedeng si factor natin, bumibili lang ng binibili ng receivable yan. O merong service fee daw. O yung service fee is a deduction doon sa total amount na makokolekta natin dito. For example na lang, 100,000. 100,000 din babayaran dapat ni factor yan. 5% we need hold. Sabi daw, kakaltasan din namin yan ng 2% of service fee. Okay, kaltas yun, service fee. Okay. Next, meron din daw mga interest expense. Take note mo na lang ha. Kapag factoring, hanapin mo to. Merong factors holdback, merong service fee, and merong interest expense. Usually. And merong recourse obligation, which is a liability account if with recourse. Kapag without recourse, walang recourse obligation. Tandaan mo na lang ha. Ngayon dito sa factoring, same as well sa discounting, i-advance ko na. Pwede daw na naka-casual basis tayo or regular financing. Anong ibig sabihin nun? Pag casual basis daw, it is an isolated event. Ibig sabihin, yung pag-factor mo ng receivable, yung pag-discount mo ng receivable, hindi mo inaasahan. Hindi mo naman talaga ginagawa yan in your normal operating cycle. So, isolated event lang yan. Okay, paminsan-minsan lang daw yan. Hindi mo daw laging ginagawa yan. Kapag daw casual basis daw yan or an isolated event daw, yung service fee daw natin and yung interest expense daw natin, isa-charge daw natin yan sa iisang one-line item which is the loss. Charge mo daw sa loss yan. Pero pag regular financing, same lang to casual basis and regular financing. Nag-iiba lang yan sa entry natin. Kapag regular financing naman, it is considered as an regular event. Kapag daw regular event daw tayo, charge mo daw yan sa mga regular expenses. Anong ibig sabihin ng regular expenses? Si service fee, service expense. Si interest expense, interest expense. Pero pag casual basis, si service fee plus si interest expense, charge yan sa iisang one-line item na tinatawag, loss lang. Okay, madali lang to. Madali lang ito. Mamaya meron naman tayong mga illustrations dyan. Last natin, discounting. Sa discounting naman, nagbebenta ka rin. Pero hindi kay factor. Kanino daw? Kay bangko na raw. Okay, and parehas lang yan. Pag nagbebenta ka kay bangko, with recourse and without recourse. Pag with recourse, may liability. Pag without recourse, walang liabilities. Okay, may formula tayo sa discounting. Pero mas maganda kung i-explain na lang natin yung formula habang nagsasagot tayo ng problems. So, yan lang muna yung concepts natin for the receivable financing or the transfer of receivables. Tandaan na lang natin, transfer of receivables, pwedeng sale, secured borrowing. Pag secured borrowing, hindi ka nagdi-recognize ng receivable. Secured borrowing, dalawa yan, pwedeng pledge, pwedeng assignment. Pledge, hypothecation din, tinatawag dyan. Note disclosure lang tayo dito. Wala kang entry na gagawin dyan. Assignment, formal form of pledge. May entry ka na gagawin, pero reclassification lang. Debit ka lang sa receivable assigned, and credit lang tayo sa receivable unassigned. Tapos dito, minsan, pinapahanap sa'yo yung equity in the assigned receivable. Ano lang yung equity in the assigned receivable? That is the portion ng receivable na pledge mo or inassign mo na ikaw pa ang may-ari. Okay, the equity asset less the liabilities lang tayo dito. Ngayon si assignment natin, pwede daw na notification and non-notification. Pag notification, ini-inform mo lang si customer mo na yung receivable dapat daw, di doon ka na daw magbabayad kay C. Kasi inassign na daw natin yung receivable mo sa kanila. Yung non-notification naman, si A pa rin nagbabayad kay B, si B, i-remit na lang yun kay C. Hindi daw na-inform si A. Okay? Sa sale natin, dalawa. Pwedeng factoring and si discounting. Si factoring, nagbenta kay factor. Parehas yan. Pwedeng with recourse and pwedeng without recourse. Pwede din casual basis and pwede din regular financing. Ngayon, pag with recourse, there is a guaranteed amount. Without recourse, walang guaranteed amount. Outright sale yon. Yung risk, ang may cargo na si factor and si bank. Sa factoring na lang, tandaan mo na lang na meron tayong factors holdback which is a receivable mo yan kay factor. Makokolekta mo yan kapag nakolekta lahat yung receivables na yun. Service fee, okay, fee lang yan para lang dun sa service na nangyari. Interest expense lang yan na sinacharge sa iyo. Recourse obligation, liability account lang ito kapag merong with recourse. Okay tayo. So, okay na. Sagutan natin yung mga prepare ko na illustrations. Okay. Illustration number 1. Sabi dito question, what amount of cash was received from the assignment of accounts? Okay, so assignment to na topic. Sabi dyan, on December 1, 2021, Bamboo Company assigned the specific accounts receivable totaling 4 million pesos as a collateral on 3 million pesos. So, ibig sabihin, receivable daw. Yung inassign mo daw na receivable, 4 million pesos. Okay, yung inutang mo daw, nasa 3 million pesos. 3 million pesos, 12% daw yan from a certain bank. The entity will continue to collect the accounts receivable. Si entity daw, si Bamboo, ang magko-collect ng accounts receivable. Ibig sabihin, non-notification basis. In addition to the interest on the note, the bank also charged 5% of finance fee deducted in advance on the 3 million peso value of the note. Yun. Yung 3 million pesos daw, hindi daw ibibigay ng buo yung 3 million pesos. Sabi daw, babawasan daw namin yan ng 5%. Yun yung sinabi dito. Okay, kakaltasan na namin. Sabi daw, the December collection of assigned accounts receivable amounted to 2 million pesos, less than the cash discounts of 100,000. Ang nakolekta daw, 2 million less 100,000. So that is 1,900,000. On December 31, 2021, the entity remitted the collection to the bank in payment for the interest accrued on December 31, 2021 and the notes payable. Yun. Itong 1.9 daw, ni-remit daw ni entity kay bank noong December 31. Pambayad daw yung 1.9, number 1, doon daw sa principal, and number 2, doon daw sa interest na nag-accrue. Okay. The entity accepted sales returns of 150,000 on the assigned accounts receivable and wrote off assigned accounts of 200,000. Question number 1. What amount of cash was received from the assignment of accounts receivable? O magkano ba yung inuutang niya? 3 million pesos. 3 million pesos, sinabi lang naman, magcha-charge ng 5%. O, multiply mo lang, 95%. Yan yung total amount na nakolekta niya. That is simply 3 million pesos. Yung 5%, ito po yun 3 million times 95%, that is equal to 2,850,000. Therefore, for number 1, ito lang sagot mo dyan, letter D. Ang tinatanong lang naman sa'yo dyan, yung amount lang daw na nakolekta mo doon sa assignment natin. Number 2, what is the carrying amount of the notes payable on December 31, 2021? Ibig sabihin lang, carrying amount daw, parang sinasabi, yung equity portion lang daw ng assigned receivables natin. O magkano na ba yung receivables mo? 'Di ba? 4 million pesos. O notes payable pala, sorry, hindi receivables. Notes payable. O yung notes payable natin, 3 million pesos pa rin. Kinaltasan lang yung 95%. So 3 million pesos pa rin yung notes payable mo. Nagbayad ka. Magkano binayaran mo? 1.9. Take note mo na lang na yung binayaran mo na 1.9 is sa principal and sa interest. Okay? O ilan na yung principal natin ba dito? Okay? Magkano ba yung interest na nag-accrue na sa atin? Tignan natin. Kung 3 million yung inutang mo, ilan daw yung interest natin? 12% daw. Ilang months na ba ang nakalipas? Sabi daw, December 31. So may nakalipas na 1 month kasi December 1 ka nang utang. So that's times 1 over 12 months. So therefore, 3 million pesos times 12% times 1 divided by 12, 30,000 daw na meron ka ng interest expense dapat. Okay? Ngayon ang mangyayari dyan, itong 1.9 natin na yan, ibig sabihin, yung interest expense na 30,000, yung 30,000 dyan, pinambayad mo ng interest expense. Yung remaining amount natin, which is nasa 1,870,000. Yan yung pinambayad mo sa principal na 3 million pesos. Therefore, i-less mo lang dito 1,870,000. 3 million less 1,870,000. That is equal to 1,130,000. Yan yung carrying amount ng notes payable mo. Letter C. Yan na lang yung babayaran natin. Yan na lang yung natitirang hindi mo pa nababayaran sa notes payable mo. Okay, ulitin na natin 2,100,000 na cash discount ang nakolekta mo, 1.9. Yung 1.9 daw, pinambayad mo daw dun sa interest na nag-accrue na. Kasi umutang ka ng 3 million. Umutang ka ng 3 million na may interest na 12%. Kailan? December 1. Kailan ka nagbayad? December 31. So may nakalipas na isang buwan. 3 million times the interest of 12% times 1 over 12, 30,000 na yung interest na babayaran mo. So yung 30,000 dito sa 1.9, pinambayad mo sa interest. Yung remaining na 1.870, pinambayad mo doon sa utang mo na 3 million. Magkano na lang daw utang mo? 1,130,000. Number 3. What is the balance of accounts receivable assigned on December 31, 2021? O magkano ba yung accounts receivable mo? 4 million pesos. Magkano na yung nakolekta mo? 2 million pesos. Sir, hindi. 1.9 lang nakolekta ko. Hindi. Nakolekta mo, 2 million pesos. Ang aalisin mo sa receivable mo, 2 million pesos. Nataon lang na yung 100,000 kasi na-avail yung cash discount. Pero yung i-credit mo sa accounts receivable is still 2 million pesos. And in addition of that, di ba nag-accept ka daw ng sales returns of 150,000? That's sales returns and allowances. Net realizable value ang receivables natin. So, kailangan mong alisin yung mga mga allowances mo yan. Meron kang allowances na 150,000 for sales returns and nag-write off ka ng accounts receivable of 200,000. Alisin mo din yan, ni-write off mo yan eh. So yung total balance ng receivable natin is nasa 4 million pesos, less 2 million, less 150, less 200,000. That is equal to 1,650,000. Therefore, for requirement number 3, letter C. Magkano daw yung total accounts receivables natin? Magkano daw yung balance ng accounts receivable mo? That is 1,650,000. Okay. Hindi tinanong yung equity. Pero pag tinanong yung equity daw or yung portion daw nung assigned receivable na sa'yo, o magkano ba yung receivable mo na lang? 1,650,000. Magkano na lang utang natin? 1,130,000. Pag tinanong lang sa'yo, magkano yung equity portion mo or magkano yung equity mo doon sa assigned receivable natin? 1,650 less 1,130,000. That is equal to 520,000. Kung i-analyze natin yan, 1,650 pinautang ko or ginamit ko as collateral doon sa utang ko. 1,130 na lang yung utang ko. This is your asset, this is your liability. Magkano na lang daw yung portion ng asset ko or ng receivable ko na sa akin pa? That is your equity, 520,000. Okay, so that is for the illustration number 1. Illustration number 2. Sabi naman, what amount of cash initially received from the factoring? Okay, factoring na tayo dito. Sabi, Zeus Company factored 6 million pesos of accounts receivable to a finance entity at the end of the current year. So, AR natin, lagay mo na dyan, accounts receivable daw na ibinenta mo 6 million pesos. Control was surrendered by Zeus Company. The factor assessed a fee of 3%. This is your service fee. And retained a holdback of 5%. This is your factor's holdback of the accounts receivable. In addition, the factor charged 15% of interest. This is your interest. Computed on the weighted average time to maturity of the accounts receivable of 54 days. Yun daw yung gagamitin mo, 54 days. Magkano daw yung cash na marireceive natin? O magkano ba yung AR mo? 6 million pesos. Magkano kinaltas dyan? 3%. O, 3%. Magkano 3% ng 6 million pesos? 6 million times 3%, that is equal to 180,000. This is service fee. O, next, nagkaltas din daw ng 5% o 6 million times 5%. This is equal to, okay, 6 million times 5%, that is equal to 300,000. Nakaltasan ng 300,000. Next, nag-charge din daw ng interest expense. 6 million times, ilan yung rate daw natin ng interest natin? 15%. Ilang days daw yung i-charge sa'yo? 54 days. Ilang days tayo gagamitin natin dito usually? 365 days na lang. So that is equal to 6 million pesos times 15% times 54 divided by 365. This is equal to 133,150. Ang tinatanong sa'yo, magkano daw yung total amount na cash na na-receive mo? O magkano mo ba binibenta? Magkano ba yung marireceive mo dapat? 6 million. Magkano kinalta sa'yo? 300,000. Magkano pa kinalta sa'yo? 180,000. Tapos yung interest expense mo, 133,150. I-less mo lang lahat yan. So that is 6 million pesos, less 300,000, less 180,000, less 133,150. This is equal to 5,386,850, letter B for requirement number 1. Number 2, if all accounts are collected, what is the cost of factoring of the accounts receivable? O ano daw ba yung cost daw natin? Kapag daw, assuming daw na lahat daw ng receivable na kolekta. O kung lahat ng receivable na kolekta, ibig sabihin yung 300,000 na factors holdback ko, makukolekta ko din yan. Magkano daw yung cost ng factoring ko? Magkano yung cost or magkano yung loss lang natin or yung cost of factoring natin? Ito lang, yung interest expense and yung service fee lang. That is 180,000 plus 133,150. This is 313,150 or letter A for requirement number 2. Okay, o kung i-entryhan natin yan, kung gusto mong entryhan yan, ganito mo lang i-entryhan yan. Nagbenta ka, naka-receive ka ng cash. Magkano na-receive mo na cash? Ito yon, 5,386,850. Magkano ano yung dinirecognize mo? Sabihin na nating accounts receivable, magkano? Nasa 6 million pesos. Assuming na naka-casual tayo. Casual basis tayo of factoring. Pag casual basis of factoring, mag-charge ka lang ng loss, di ba? Tapos meron kang receivable. Receivable from factor. Magkano yung receivable from factor mo? 300 pesos. Magkano i-charge mo as loss? Ito lang muna, 313,150. Ganito yung entry kapag casual basis. Pero paano pag receivable or paano pag regular financing? Parehas lang. Debit ka lang ng cash, yung nakolekta mo na cash, 5,386,850. Debit tayo ng receivable from factor na nasa 300,000. Debit tayo ng hindi loss ang i-debit mo dyan, but rather service fee na. Debit ka ng service fee, magkano service fee mo? 180,000. Debit ka ng interest expense, yung interest expense mo, 133,150. Anong credit natin dito? Credit lang tayo ulit ng accounts receivable of 6 million pesos. So yan yung entries kapag in-entryhan mo yung illustration number 2 using the casual basis and the regular financing. Okay, next na. Sige. Sa pang practice, illustration number 3. Sabi sa illustration number 3, Cynthia Company. Okay, Cynthia Company factored 750,000 accounts receivable at year-end. Control was surrendered. The factor accepted the accounts receivable subject to recourse or with recourse for non-payment. The fair value of the recourse obligation is 20,000. Tandaan mo, this is a liability account. The factor assessed a 2% and retained holdback equal to 4% of the accounts receivable. Assessed fee, service fee yan. In addition, the factor charged 12% of interest computed on the weighted average time to maturity of 51 days. Magkano daw yung cash na na-receive natin? O ito lang, magkano yung finactor mo? 750,000. Magkano yung chinarge sa'yo? 2% na service fee. 750,000. Service fee, 2%. That is equal to 15,000. Ano pa ba? Nag-charge din ng factors holdback. Iniwan daw, receivable mo yan. So, hindi mo na-collecta yan. 750,000, ilang percent yung factors holdback natin? Nasa 4%. 750,000 times 4%, this is equal to 30,000 pesos. And sabi, meron ding interest expense, 750,000 times 12%. Ilang days daw? 51. Ilang days tayo? 365 days. So, yung interest expense natin dyan is 750,000 times 12% times 51 divided by 365. This is equal to 12,575. Okay. Magkano daw yung receivable, yung cash na na-receive natin? Sa calculator ko na gagawin? Hindi. Sige, sulat na natin. 750,000 yung makukolekta mo dapat. Kinaltasan ka ng 15,000. Kinaltasan ka ng 30,000. Kinaltasan tayo ng 12,575. Yung total cash na na-receive natin dito is nasa 750,000 less 15,000 less 30,000 less 12,575. That is equal to 692,465 or 425 or letter A for requirement number 1. Okay, or requirement number 2, what total amount should be recognized initially as loss on factoring the accounts receivable? O magkano yung i-charge mo muna as loss dito daw? Sabi daw, i-charge mo muna na loss considering yung loss natin. Kasi kung i-entryhan natin yan, sabi na natin, casual basis na lang tayo. Casual basis para mas madali. Kung i-entryhan natin yan, yung debit mo na cash, yung cash na na-receive mo, 692,425. Ang i-credit natin, AR. AR tayo, magkano? 750,000. Huwag mong kakalimutan, may liability ka. So, credit ka ng recourse liability amounting to 20,000 pesos. Tapos, meron kang receivable from factor na 30,000. Debit ka ng receivable from factor of 30,000. Okay? And, di ba meron kang loss? Magkano yung loss natin? That is yung 15,000 mo and the 30,000. Sige, check mo. 15,000 plus 30,000. And, wag mong kakalimutan, i-charge, or ito pala. Yung loss natin is ito, 15,000 and 12,575. Yung service fee and the interest expense. 15,000 plus 12,575. And wag mong kakalimutan na i-charge mo daw muna sa loss yung recourse obligation mo na 20,000. So, plus 20,000. That is equal to 47,575. Kaya for number 2, letter D tayo dyan. Okay, kasi kung i-check mo yan, debit and credit natin, o magkano debit mo? 692,425. Debit mo, receivable, 30,000. Debit mo, loss, 47,575. 770,000. Magkano credit mo? 750 and 20,000. That is 770,000 din. So, equal tayo doon. Kapag hindi mo charge as loss yung recourse obligation, 27,575 lang ito. Hindi mag-i-equal yung debit and yung credit natin. Okay, so dapat lang mag-equal yung debit natin. So, i-charge mo daw muna yung recourse obligation mo na 20,000 as a loss. Okay, so that is for requirement number 2. 47,575, diba? Ang dali lang nito. Next, illustration number 4. Sabi sa number 4, what total amount was received from the financing of accounts receivable? Okay, parang factoring lang yan. During the second year of operation, sabi daw, Shark Company found itself in financial difficulties. The entity decided to use the accounts receivable as a means of obtaining cash to continue operations. On July 1, 2021, the entity sold 1.5 of accounts receivable for cash proceeds of 1.4. No allowance for doubtful accounts was associated with this account. Binenta niya 1.5. Ang na-receive na niya 1.4. On December 15, 2021, the entity assigned the remainder of its accounts receivable of 5 million pesos as of that date as collateral on 2.5. Collateral, secured borrowing yon. 12% annual interest loan from finance company. The entity received 2.5 less a 2% finance charge. Ito daw yung nakolekta mo daw. Plus or less the 2% finance charge. None of the assigned accounts has been collected by the end of the year. It is estimated that 10% of accounts receivable would be uncollectible. The entity revealed the following data on December 31, 2021. Meron daw siyang accounts receivable na hindi daw kasama yung factored receivable and the assigned receivable of 1 million pesos. Yung accounts receivable daw na inassigned, 5 million. Accounts receivable daw na finactor, 1.5. And yung allowance for doubtful accounts daw before the adjustment is 100,000. O, i-analyze mo. Accounts receivable na finactor, di ba sale yan? Pag sinail yan, dinirecognize mo na yan. Pag dinirecognize mo na yan, o hindi na dapat yan part ng receivable natin. So pag tinanong sa'yo, magkano muna yung receivable natin? Ito lang, 6 million pesos. Yung 1 million and yung 5 million pesos. Kasi yung 1.5, dinirecognize mo na yan. Kasi nga, finactor mo yan, binenta natin yan. Yung accounts receivable, inassign sa'yo pa rin yan. Secured borrowing lang yan. Okay? Number 1, what total amount was received from financing of accounts receivable? Magkano ba yung total amount na na-receive daw natin? Sabi dito, unang na-receive mo na amount is nasa 1,400,000. Diba? Na-receive mo daw cash proceeds of 1.4. Tapos, naka-receive ka din daw ng 2,500,000. Less 2% finance charge. O magkano ba 2% finance charge ng 2.5? Times 2,500,000 times 0.02. That is equal to 50,000. So yung total cash na na-receive mo through the financing or the receivable financing is 1.4 plus 2,500,000 less 50,000. Naka-receive ka daw ng 3,850,000. Letter B for requirement number 1. Requirement number 2, magkano daw net realizable value ng accounts receivable? O balikan lang natin, ano ba yung net realizable value natin? That is your AR less your allowances. Ano yung allowances natin? Sales, discounts, and your allowance for doubtful accounts. Magkano AR natin dito? Ito na yun, 6 million pesos. Magkano sales discount natin? Walang binigay. Magkano ADA natin? Nagbigay. Ito, sabi 10% of the accounts receivable would be uncollectible. 10% of accounts receivable, ibig sabihin, percentage of receivable. O, balikan mo ngayon yung concept natin sa percentage of receivable. Anong gagawin mo dyan? Yung percentage, imumultiply mo lang sa receivable natin, which is nasa 6 million pesos. So, 6 million pesos times 10%, that is 600,000. Pag binultiply mo yung percentage under percentage of receivable, ano nako-collect, ano yung 600,000 natin? Di ba yan yung ending balance ng allowance for doubtful accounts mo? So, ililess lang natin dito si 600,000. Your net realizable value is 600,000 less 6 million pesos, that is equal to 5,400,000. Therefore, for requirement number 2, letter B, 5.4. Number 3, what amount should be recognized as doubtful accounts expense? O magkano daw yung bad debts expense mo? Di ba gumagawa ka lang dyan ng T-account? Di ba T-account natin doon sa allowance for doubtful accounts? Magkano daw yung beginning balance mo or yung unadjusted balance mo? Ito 100,000. Magkano daw ba ending balance mo dapat? Ito yun 600,000. Ibig sabihin na dagdagan. Ano yung dumagdag? Yung bad debts expense. Magkano dumagdag? 500,000. Anong sagot mo sa number 3? Letter B, 500,000. Diba? Easy peasy. Illustration number 5. Yon. Sa number 5, ito na. Discounting na tayo. Sabi sa number 5, Apex Company accepted from a customer a 1 million pesos face amount. 6-month, 8% note dated April 1, 2021. Okay. On that same date, the entity discounted the note without recourse at a 10% discount rate. What amount of cash was received? What amount should be recognized as loss on the notes receivable? Ito lang tatandaan mo dyan. Meron tayong mga formulas kasi dito. Formula number 1. Sa discounting natin, dito, yung pag tinanong sa atin, ito tatandaan mo na lang, sa discounting natin, yung receivable mo, ito daw, plus yung interest already earned, yung interest na nakalipas na. Syempre meron ka ng interest income na na-earned, yung na-earn daw natin. Less daw yung net proceeds, yung pinagbentahan mo, is equal to your gain or the loss. Okay. Ngayon, yung net proceeds mo daw dito, paano mo daw kinocompute yun? That is your maturity value less the discount. Paano mo daw hinahanap yung maturity value? That is the principal, eto daw, plus the interest at the full term, eto daw, 8% for a period of 6 months. Magkaiba to magkaiba yung interest na na-earn na dito sa interest at full term. Yung interest na na-earn, yung interest lang na nakuha mo doon sa nakalipas na buwan. Dito yung interest for full term, yung interest lang, yung interest na marireceive mo doon sa buong maturity period. Interest for full term. Principal plus interest for full term, that is your maturity value. Less daw discount, what is your discount? That is simply the maturity value daw dito, multiplied with the discount period daw. Yung discount period natin, yan lang yung time na from the moment na pinadiscount mo siya up to the end nung maturity nung receivable, times the discount rate. Discount rate natin, eto. So, compute natin. Magkano daw yung cash na na-receive mo? Ano yung cash na na-receive? Net proceeds. Ano yung net proceeds natin? The maturity value less the discount. Ano yung maturity? Principal. Magkano principal mo? 1 million pesos. Plus interest for full term. Magkano daw ba interest? 8%. Okay, 8% ilang buwan daw? 6 months. So, magkano yun? Yung 8% natin, assuming nasa 1 year yan. So, that is, magkano yung total interest na ma-earn mo? 1 million pesos times 8%. Yung 8%, yung 80,000 sa buong taon yun. Ilan daw ba, ilang buwan lang daw ba? 6 months. So, times 6 divided by 12. Yung total interest natin dito is nasa 40,000 pesos. So, your total maturity value is equal to 1,040,000. Less discount. Paano mo compute ang discount? Maturity value lang din daw. Magkano maturity value mo? 1,040,000. Times the discount rate. Magkano discount rate mo? 10%. Times the discount period. Ano yung discount period natin? Ito. Na-receive mo April 1, 2021, yung receivable. On that same date, diniscount mo na rin daw siya. So, April 1, diniscount mo rin daw siya. So, from April 1 up to the maturity period, kailan maturity period ng receivable mo? 6 months. From April 1 to the maturity period of 6 months, or from April 1 up to the maturity period, ilang months ang nakalipas pa? Okay, yun yung discount period natin. O, ilang months pa? 6 months. O, anong gagawin mo? Times 6 over 12. So therefore, yung discount natin is simply the 1,040,000 times 10% times 6 over 12. This is equal to 52,000. O, magkano daw yung total cash na na-receive natin? Less mo lang yan. 1,040,000 less 52,000, that is equal to 988,000, letter C for requirement number 1. Okay. Next natin yan. Ano tinatanong? Sabi lang dyan, magkano daw yung marireceive o magkano daw yung i-recognize mo as loss? Loss natin. Ano yung loss? Ito, receivable. Meron na bang na-earn na interest? Wala pa. Wala pang na-earn na interest kasi binenta mo siya April 1, na-receive mo siya April 1, wala pang interest. So simply, yung amount lang ng receivable, which is 1 million pesos. O kung 1 million pesos, yung receivable natin, magkano yung net proceeds mo? 988,000. Magkano loss natin? 1 million yung binenta mo, na-receive mo 988, meron kang 12,000 na difference which is considered as your loss. Kaya for requirement number 2, letter D tayo dyan. Diba? Next sa pang practice, illustration number 6. Number 6, sabi, on August 31, 2021, Sunflower Company discounted with recourse a note at the bank at discount rate of 15%. The discounting transaction is accounted for as secured borrowing. The note was received from the customer on August 1, 2021 for 90 days. Okay, August 1 mo na-receive, binenta mo August 31. Tapos 90 days yung maturity nung na-receive mo na notes receivable. It has a face amount of 5 million and carries an interest rate of 12%. The customer paid the note to the bank on October 30, 2021. The date of maturity. What amount should recognize as interest expense? Ang ibig sabihin ng interest expense is considered as loss. Okay, pag secured borrowing kasi, parang hindi doon siya nagbenta. Pwede kasi yon. Yes, discounting, pero pwede yung discounting mo, naka-secured borrowing pa, so hindi pa nagbenta. Pero parehas pa rin ang concept. Ganito pa rin yung formula na gagamitin mo. Pero instead daw na loss, yung amount natin dito, it is considered daw as an interest expense daw. Parehas lang yon. So, same lang tayo ng process. O, ang gagawin mo lang, hanapin mo lang yung receivable less the net proceeds. O, magkano mo na net proceeds natin? O, magkano daw ba na-receive mo? Sabi daw, yung discount, yung maturity value mo na, magkano maturity value? Ito, 5 million pesos. Diba? 5 million pesos yung principal, maturity value is principal, plus the interest for full term. O, magkano yung interest for full term mo? Magkano ba interest rate? 12%. Okay, 12% yan. 5 million pesos times 12%, that is equal to 600,000. O ilang months lang daw ba yung 12% natin or yung maturity period ng notes receivable? 90 days. So 5 million pesos times 12% times 90, kasi 90 days lang, divided by kung ilang taon. Ilang taon ba? Ang gamitin natin na days dito, 360 days muna. So that is equal to 150,000. So magkano total natin dito? 5,150,000. Okay, ito yung maturity value. Okay tayo. Next, magkano yung discount? Maturity less discount, that is the net proceeds. O discount natin, maturity value na 5,150,000 times the discount rate. Discount rate natin, magkano? 15%. Discount period. Dito ka lang naman malilito sa discount period eh. Ano ulit yung discount period natin? Yan yung date na diniscount mo siya, nung binenta mo siya, or na-discount natin siya, from the date na discount mo siya, up to the date ng maturity. August 1 mo na-receive yung receivable. August 1 mo na-receive yung receivable. Pina-discount mo siya, August 31. Ilang days ang nakalipas dito? 30 days. Ilang days yung maturity ng receivable natin? 90 days. Kung 30 days nakalipas na, 90 days yung maturity period. Ilan yung discount period natin? That's simply 30 less 90, that is 60 days. Discount period natin, 60 days. Dito sa illustration number 5 kasi, on that same date, diniscount mo na siya. Therefore, yung 6 months is equal to your discount period. Dito kasi may nakalipas na isang buwan. Na-receive mo siya August 1, August 31 mo siya diniscount, 90 days yung maturity period. 30 days bago mo siya diniscount. Therefore, yung remaining maturity period is the 60 days. Yung remaining maturity period is equal to your discount period. Therefore, times 60 days divided by 360 days. Gamitin lang muna natin 360 days para lang eksakto yung amount na ma-receive mo. 5,150,000 times 15% times 60 divided by 360 days. This is equal to 128,750. Ayun. Magkano net proceeds natin? 5,150,000 yung maturity less yung discount na 128,750. That is equal to 5,021,250. Yan yung total cash na ma-receive natin. Okay, this is your net proceeds. Okay, net proceeds mo yan. Ano ulit yung hinahanap? Yung loss. Magkano yung loss? Yung receivable plus the interest already earned. Magkano ba yung receivable natin dito? Nasa 5 million pesos. Meron na bang interest na na-earn? Yes! 30 days na yung nakalipas So, meron ng interest na na-earned. Magkano yung interest rate mo? 12%. Principal, 5 million pesos times 12%. Ilang months na ang nakalipas? 30 days. So, meron nang na-earn na 30 days. Times 30 divided by 360 days, meron ka ng interest na na-earn dito of 50,000. 5 million plus 50,000, that is 5,050,000. Ito yung receivable mo daw, plus the interest already earned, less your net proceeds. Plus your net proceeds, less net proceeds, 5,021,250. Yung loss daw natin is nasa 28,750, letter C for requirement number or illustration number 6. Okay, nasa 28,750. Natakpan lang, pero ito yung Okay, so that is for illustration number 6. Last, illustration number 7. Ito na siguro yung pinaka-comprehensive dito sa problems natin. Sabi, dito meron lang tayong tinatawag na dishonored note. Okay, pero madali lang dishonored note. Ang concept lang ng dishonored note natin, hindi daw nakolekta ng bangko yung notes receivable. So, na-dishonor daw. Ang gagawin lang doon, ang magbabayad si company. Okay, yung nagpa-discount. Yung may-ari ng receivable, siya magbabayad. Ang mangyayari ngayon, yung nagbayad doon sa discounted receivable, kokolektahin lang din daw niya doon sa customer niya. Okay? Gawin natin. Illustration number 7. On April 1, 2021, Shalimar Company discounted with recourse a 9-month 10% note dated January 1, 2021. Yun. Na-receive niya yung notes January 1, 2021. Kailan siya nagpa-discount? April 1, 2021. Ilang months yun? January, February, March, April 1, 3 months. Okay? 3 months lang nakalipas. Tandaan mo na lang. Okay? With a face amount of 6 million pesos. Okay, principal natin, 6 million pesos. Interest mo ulit, 10%. Maturity date, 9 months. Okay, ayan na, nakalis na. The bank discount rate is 12%. Okay, lagay mo na. Discount rate, 12%. The discounting transaction is accounted for as a conditional sale with recognition as a contingent liability. On October 1, 2021, the maker dishonored the notes receivable. Okay, October 1, 2021, hindi daw nakolekta yung receivable. The entity paid the bank the maturity of the note plus the protest fee of 50,000. Dahil doon, ang ginawa daw, si Shalimar daw, binayaran daw si bangko ng magano daw, yung maturity value plus the protest fee of 50,000. On December 31, 2021, the entity collected the dishonored note in full plus the 12% interest on the total amount due. Yun. After nun, si entity naman daw, nakolekta daw doon kay customer. Yung alin daw? Yung total amount na binayaran niya kay bank plus 12% daw ng annual interest. Sagutan natin yung mga requirement. 1. What amount was collected from the note discounting on April 1, 2021? O magkano daw ba na-receive mo nung diniscount mo siya noong October 1 or April 1, 2021? O dito lang ulit tayo. Dito lang ulit. Okay, maturity value natin, that is 6 million pesos. Principal. Plus yung full term natin na 10%. 6 million pesos times 10%. Ilang months? 9 times 9 divided by 12 months. That is equal to 450,000. This is equal to 6,450,000. Less natin discount. O, discount natin, 6,450,000 your maturity value multiplied by the discount rate. Magkano discount rate natin? Ito na, 12%. Discount period natin, o, ilang months pa ba ang nakalipas? O, ulitin natin. Kailan ka nagpa-discount? April 1. Ilang months? 9 months. Nakalipas, 3 months. Kung nakalipas ang 3 months, ilang months ang remaining natin? 6 months. Therefore, times to 6 over 12. 6,450,000 times 12% times 6 divided by 12. Yung discount natin is nasa 387,000. Magkano na-kolekta mo? Magkano net proceeds mo? Nasa 6,063,000. Kaya for number 1, letter A. Diba? Madali lang si discounting. Pag alam natin yung concept netong formula natin na to. Number 2, what amount should be recognized as loss on note discounting? O paano ulit yung loss? Receivable less than net proceeds. Magkano net proceeds mo? 6,063,000. O magkano na ba yung receivable natin? That is 6 million pesos plus yung interest na na-earn natin. O ilan na ba yung interest na na-earn mo? Di ba 3 months na? O ilan yung interest? 10%. Therefore, 6 million pesos times 10% times 3 months divided by 12 months. Meron ng 150,000. That is equal to 6,150,000. Ito dapat marireceive mo. Pero nabenta mo siya ng 6,063,000. Therefore, 6,150,000 less 6,063,000. That is equal to 87,000. Yung 87,000, yan yung considered as loss on the discounting. Number 2, letter C. Okay. Number 3. Sabi sa 3, what total amount was collected from the customer on December 31, 2021? Magkano daw yung nakolekta natin kay customer on December 31, 2021? Ano ulit nangyari? Yung total maturity natin na 6,450,000 na dishonor daw yung note. Kaya ang nangyari, binayaran mo daw yung 6,450,000 kay bangko muna. Plus daw the protest fee of 50,000. So yung total na binayaran mo, 6,500,000 kay bangko. Binayaran mo muna yan kay bank, 6.5. Si Shalimar, binayaran mo na yan kay bank, 6.5. Nakolekta mo daw yan, kinolekta mo daw yan dun kay customer. Magkano mo daw nakolekta? Yung 6.5 daw plus the interest of 12%. from the moment daw, annual interest daw yan on the total amount due. Eh, kailan mo ba yan dapat makukolekta? 6-9 months, di ba? That's from January. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. September 31 or September katapusan, dapat nakolekta mo na yung 6,450,000. Pero hindi mo nakolekta. Kailan mo daw nakolekta? Sabi daw December 31. So from September, October, November, December, may 3 months na meron ulit 3 months na nakalipas. Time value of money, may interest na 12% times 3 over 12. Therefore, 6,500,000 times 12% times 3 divided by 12, merong interest ulit na 195,000. Magkano ibabalik sa'yo dapat? Yung 6,500,000 na binayaran mo kay bangko plus yung interest na 195,000. Therefore, yung total amount na nakolekta mo is nasa 6,695,000. Letter C for requirement number 3. Madali, di ba? Madali lang naman talaga yan. Number 4 natin. If the discounting is a secured borrowing, what is included in the journal entry to record the transaction? O pag secured borrowing, di ba instead daw na loss, dapat interest expense tayo? Magkano ba interest expense mo? Di ba ito yon 87,000. Debit ka ng interest expense, 87,000. So tama yung letter B. So letter B for number 4. Diba? So therefore, that concludes our discussion with regards to receivable financing and the transfer of receivables. Sana may natutunan. Yun lang. Okay, aral lang mabuti. Good luck. God bless and ciao.